Security Council Draft Resolution 9737. This resolution is written in the style of actual UN Security Council resolutions. As you read or listen, ask yourself, what actions does the resolution call on member states to take? What is the core message? Germany, the United Kingdom, draft resolution. The Security Council. Deeply troubled by recent developments in Abaroa, particularly the kidnapping of Vice President Mitu, by rebel groups, and by the fact that violent militia groups have claimed connections to the government of Abaroa, expresses its intention to consider appropriate measures that might be taken against those individuals who threaten peace and democratic process in Abaroa. Condemning all violence, as well as violations of human rights, particularly against the civilian population. Affirming the commitment of all member states to the sovereignty, independence, unity, and territorial integrity of Abaroa and its neighboring states. Noting with concern that repeated acts of instability and unrest threaten efforts towards sustainable social and economic development. Underlining that the government of Abaroa and the national authorities must remain committed to the promotion of the rule of law and human rights. Noting that obstacles remain in Abaroa instability and determining that the situation in this country constitutes a threat to international peace and security in the region. Reaffirming its full commitment to ensuring peace and stability in Abaroa. Number 1. Urges the government of Abaroa and all parties concerned in the region to denounce the use of and incitement to violence, to condemn unequivocally violations of human rights and of international humanitarian law. 2. Demands that the government of Abaroa end the climate of impunity in Abaroa by identifying and bringing to justice all those responsible for widespread human rights abuses and violations of international humanitarian law, and insists that the government of Abaroa take all appropriate steps to stop all violence and atrocities, and further requests the Secretary General to report in 30 days and monthly thereafter to the Council on the progress or lack thereof by the government of Abaroa on this matter, and express its intention to consider further actions on the government of Abaroa in the event of non-compliance. 3. Affirms that internally displaced persons, refugees, and other vulnerable peoples should be allowed to return to their homes voluntarily, in safety and with dignity, and only when adequate assistance and security are in place. 4 and 5 are pretty much the crux of the resolution, so pay attention to these two. Number 4, calls upon all states to take urgent, effective measures to terminate all collaboration with the abusive government of Abaroa in the political, economic, trade, military, and nuclear fields, and to refrain from entering into other relations with that government in violation of the relevant resolution of the United Nations. 5, requests all states, pending the imposition of comprehensive mandatory sanctions against Abaroa, to take legislative, administrative, and other measures, individually or collectively as appropriate, to isolate Abaroa politically, economically, militarily, and culturally, in accordance with the relevant resolution of the General Assembly. Number 6, encourage all Abaroan parties to engage in dialogue in a spirit of compromise with a view of lasting political solution. Number 7, request the Secretary General to keep it informed on a regular basis of developments in the situation of Abaroa, the progress of a peace agreement, the action taken by the Abaroan authorities following the Council's recommendation in the fight against impunity and the return of displaced persons to their homes, and to submit a report on these developments every 3 months. When you're reading through this, the big parts of the resolution are number 4 and number 5. Number 5 simply calls on countries to impose economic or money or trade sanctions.